Welcome back to our ongoing series on Stoicism, a philosophical tradition that champions self-mastery, wisdom, and inner peace. Today we'll turn our attention to revealing the 5 crucial things that, according to Stoic teachings, are best kept to yourself. Respecting these principles can lead to a more tranquil life, free from the turmoil often caused by oversharing. So let's dive into this knowledge that has helped countless individuals throughout history handle their personal and social affairs with wisdom and discretion. Number 1. Your feelings of anger and resentment. Anger and resentment can often build up in our hearts, weighing us down and clouding our judgment. It's easy to harbor these emotions when we feel wronged or slighted by others. Yet being constantly fueled by these feelings can lead to a destructive path of bitterness and negativity. It's important to remember that these feelings should be kept to oneself, not because they are invalid, but because voicing them often only serves to promote negativity and create conflict. Moreover, holding on to resentment or anger doesn't mean letting someone off the hook for their wrongdoings or ignoring the hurt they've caused. Instead, it's about taking control of your emotional well-being and not allowing these feelings to dictate your actions or decisions. While it's entirely normal to feel ticked off in the face of mistreatment or injustice, it's crucial to maintain a sense of perspective and focus on rational response rather than ruminating in these emotions. Also, repeatedly talking about your resentment or anger can keep those events alive in our minds, perpetuating the cycle of negativity. Instead, it's advised to keep these feelings to oneself to prevent this and try to work towards a resolution internally. This way, you're not letting your anger and resentment influence others or create a toxic environment, which can sometimes happen when these feelings are openly expressed and uncontrolled. By keeping your feelings of anger and resentment to yourself, you not only protect others from your negativity, but you also shield yourself from the harmful consequences of chronic anger, such as stress, anxiety, and potential damage to relationships. In fact, choosing not to vocalize your anger can be a way of practicing resilience and self-control, which can ultimately lead to personal growth and improved mental health. Number 2. Your critical thoughts about others. It's quite common for us to pass judgment and form critical thoughts about others. We may not even realize we're doing it. The bus driver who didn't stop for you, the colleague who didn't reply to your email quickly enough, or the friend who never seems to be available when you need them. Yet such criticisms, as natural as they may seem, are not generally helpful to our mental well-being. Criticism, by its nature, involves negatively evaluating another person's behavior, character, or beliefs. It's an act that breeds negativity. If we begin to criticize others regularly, we feed this negativity, and it can start to cloud our judgment and affect our general outlook on life. Furthermore, being critical of others can damage relationships. If we voice these criticisms, we risk causing offense or creating conflict. Even if we keep these thoughts to ourselves, they can still alter how we interact with the person we're criticizing. We may become defensive or distant. In extreme cases, continual criticism can lead to resentment or antagonism. It's worth emphasizing that criticism isn't necessarily a bad thing. Constructive criticism, when offered tactfully and with good intentions, can help others to grow and improve. Yet it is crucial that we learn the difference between this type of criticism and the more harmful, judgmental type. Moreover, we also need to consider why we're being critical in the first place. Are we projecting our insecurities onto others? Are we being inspired by jealousy? Are we unfairly expecting others to meet our standards? Remember, everyone has their journey, their challenges, their story you might know nothing about. So instead of wasting your emotional energy criticizing, spend it on understanding and empathy. After all, everyone is doing their best with what they have. Number 3. Negative self-assessments. Negative self-assessments are often masquerading self-inflicted wounds we burden ourselves with. It's as if we become our own worst critics, continuously evaluating and often downplaying our skills, accomplishments, and potential. Embodying negativity towards ourselves is a self-destructive behavior that can hinder our happiness, growth, and progress in life. For instance, when we fail in some aspect, instead of learning and moving on, we tend to berate ourselves harshly about it. This creates an environment of self-doubt and depreciates our self-confidence. Moreover, we also frequently compare ourselves with others, highlighting our deficiencies rather than appreciating our unique individual attributes. These self-made assessments are like chains, holding us from exploring our true abilities. They affect our mental health and overall well-being, creating a chasm between us and our self-esteem. Dwelling too much on our faults rather than our strengths can negatively impact our whole approach to life. To rectify this, we need to be kind to ourselves and flip our negative self-view. We ought to recognize that no one is perfect, and everyone faces failure at some point. Seeing these failures as stepping stones to success can help us become more resilient and adaptable. Instead of self-condemnation, we should engage in constructive self-dialogue, focusing on enhancing our strengths and improving our weaknesses. In a world where everyone seems to be striving for perfection, it's essential we find comfort in our flaws and understand they make us unique. Negative self-assessments should not be a barrier, but a pathway towards self-discovery and personal growth. Number 4, worries about the future. Worries about the future is another area of life that many of us tend to dwell on excessively. It is in our nature as sentient beings to consider what lies ahead and attempt to prepare for every possibility. However, this foresight often tends to morph into anxiety, fueled by thoughts of everything that could potentially go wrong. One major problem with this is that the future, by its very nature, is uncertain. We can plan, anticipate, and worry as much as we like, but we ultimately have no control over what the future will bring. This reality can make our worries seem futile and even more distressing, leading to increased anxiety and even sleep problems. Furthermore, worrying about the future distracts us from the present. We miss out on the joys and experiences of the current moment because we are too preoccupied with what might happen. We might also find ourselves making decisions based on fear of the future, rather than what is best for us right now. Another downside to excessive worrying about the future is the endless cycle it creates. Once one worry is resolved, another one often takes its place, creating a constant state of stress and anxiety. This can have detrimental effects on our mental and physical health, relationships, and overall quality of life. In the end, we must learn and strive to accept that the future is out of our control. This doesn't mean we don't plan or prepare for what's ahead. Instead, it means we learn to handle these uncertainties with grace and resilience, acknowledging our worries about the future but not allowing them to rule our thoughts and actions. Number 5, your past regrets. Your past regrets are a heavy burden to bear. These regrets harbor thoughts of things we could have done differently, situations we could have navigated better, and opportunities we missed. Distinctly human, our capacity for reflection and learning from past mistakes can often spiral into unconstructive dwelling on past regrets. It's important to remember that everyone, without exception, has regrets. The key is to learn how to manage these regrets in a productive manner. You cannot change past actions, but you can change your perspective on them. When regret starts to creep in, reflect on what this regret is teaching you about your values, preferences, and mistakes. Think of your past regrets as life's tough love teachers. They often highlight areas in our lives where we lacked courage, compassion, or understanding. The sting of regret is a powerful reminder of the consequences we face when we act against our better judgment or wise instincts. Don't hide or avoid your regrets, but also don't let them rob you of your self-esteem and peace of mind. Acknowledge your past regrets, understand what they're trying to teach you, resolve to not repeat the same mistakes, and forgive yourself. Remember, we are all works in progress. Life is a journey of becoming the best version of ourselves, and past regrets are an inevitable part of that process. Accept them, understand them, and let them guide you towards better choices in the future. And always remember, regret isn't a life sentence. It's just a stepping stone on your path to being a more thoughtful, understanding, and well-rounded human being. All in all, embracing the Stoic philosophy can change your life and relationships for the better. It's a path focused on reducing unnecessary stress and nurturing a more thoughtful, harmonious mindset. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep growing and keep learning.